So it is summertime, and maybe you'll have the problem that your graphics card is running very hot or overheating even. And one thing you really want to do is just take a look at your card. What does it actually look like? Is it just as dirty and grimy as the card that I have? When you just take a look in there, there is a pack full of dust and grime inside of this card. Also, looking around the blades in here, they are packed with grime. And look at that one though here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to show you how to clean a card easily and with minimal effort, because you can really spend a lot of time doing that, but I like the easy route. I take shortcuts, and up until now, over all these years, I never really had any issues with the method I'm just going to show you today. So what you want to do is uninstall the card first, then put it on its back, and when it is on its back, you're just gonna take all the screws off of this card, so you can actually just detach the cooler from the card. Make sure you are not forgetting any screws, because there will be some that are holding on the VRM cooler, and sometimes there are also screws on this back plate holding the cooler on, but not this time. And then when you're disconnecting the cooler from the card, you'll probably need a bit of force, but be careful so you don't just rip off all the thermal pads, because they might actually tear. Such as this one, that is for the memory modules, I think. I just like to make sure that they stay intact, so I don't have to replace them unless they are really done for it. So that's what the card looks like underneath here, and yeah. Next step will be involving a tap and water. I'm just going to move back here. And I'm going to wash it. That's how I do it. I wash the cards. I know many people think, electronics and water, that they don't go together very well. That's true. But you just need to make sure that it is dry before you put it back into working condition. So what I'm first going to do is just going to remove the dust shallow. First run. Alright. That's it. And then next will be the cooler. Shake it in the water. Let all the grime get out of the cooler, which there is a lot of. I just want to give you a look on it. That's what the water looks like right now. Yeah, can focus. It is gross. That's what it looks like right now. And now next step will be to just place it in the sun, let it dry for multiple hours. It really has to be perfectly dry. And once dry, you are going to replace the thermal pads, thermal paste, screw it back together, give it a good test run, and I'm very confident that it will work very nicely again. And yeah, just take a look on this water, man. This is the second run. The first run was even worse, and even the brush is very dirty now. Yeah, so I'm gonna clean the brush. remove the water and get the card dried. So I got all of the parts cleaned on this card. I took some extra measures to actually get it really clean because it was so dirty that it was still very grimy underneath the heatsink. So I also disassembled the heatsink and gave it another clean under the sink using some degreaser and just detergent, and that's what it looks like now. It really turned out very clean this time. There is no dirt, no grime left. Also the heatsink, the PCB, it is looking fantastic. I even managed to salvage one of the thermal pads. I used WD-40 to clean it off. It turned out really nice. So I'm gonna reuse this one because this is a rather thick one and I was uncertain if I actually would have had a replacement in my spare parts. And yeah, I'm just gonna do repaste, put thermal pads on there, screw it back together, and that's it. So it is actually, it really is an easy task to get your card cleaned and to get temperatures into a good range again. So if you want to do some maintenance work on your, let's say, especially if it is a very old card in your system and you are having thermal issues, give it a try. Just give it a good clean. If it isn't as sturdy as my card, just use a brush and your vacuum cleaner. So you brush off the dust and vacuum clean it right away. When doing so, you actually wouldn't even have to get the card out of your system necessarily, depending on the state of your card. My card was probably in the roughest state that you can have, so there was really no other option than just taking it apart fully and giving it a proper cleanse under the sink using degreaser, detergent, and then letting it dry in the sun. Yeah, which is a very good and time efficient method in my opinion. I've been doing that for years now, especially with the really rough conditioned cards, just to get it cleaned and in a good working state again. That was it. I hope it was somewhat helpful for you out there, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one.